Poland's military is flexing its arsenal in the largest parade in decades. This Army Day is to mark 103 years since winning the Battle of Warsaw against the Soviets. And it's a significant display of how billions have been spent on new equipment since 2014 when Russia annexed Crimea.
We are modernizing our armed forces. This year we will allocate over 4% of GDP on defense. We live in dangerous times again. A full-scale war is taking place beyond our eastern border, a war that still has no end in sight.
But not everyone is convinced. The opposition says the government is politicizing the military.
There are those who criticize this ambitious program. There are those who loudly remind us that we are getting into debt to buy modern equipment. When I hear these voices, I always say we cannot afford to be idle today.
Even before the war in Ukraine, Poland began bolstering its military. The close ties between Russia and neighbouring Belarus have been a catalyst to purchase more conventional weapons.
We thought we lived in times of small mobile armies, but it turns out that we live in an era of artillery and tank battles. Poland is a much richer country compared to 10 to 20 years ago. However, it's still not a rich country in terms of military investments. The cost of buying weapons is only 1/3 of the operating costs over the entire period of maintaining of the equipment.
Much of the further expansion of Polish army will depend on how the war in Ukraine progresses. And until there's fear of it spilling into Poland, there's likely to be support for public investment in defense.
I think right now there is no single person who would not think about security, especially if you have a family.
Our army is now strong. I personally feel safe, and if needed, I would take up arms and go.
More than 100 years since the war with the former Soviet Union, a shadow of war still looms on the Poland-Belarus border. And that is why the government continues to tell its people that it needs a strong, powerful army. Osama Javaid, Jazeera, Warsaw.